Hidden away in the mountains of the Mojave Territories lies what is probably one of the most iconic and my personal nation to play in Old World Blues, the Mojave Chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel, led by none other than the iconic Father Elijah. Now, any initial preparation for the start of a game for any nation in Old World Blues is very important, but it is a little bit extra so for the Mojave chapter because we have two very important things to get right at the beginning of the game, or else everything will fail. First of all, we need to get ready for Operation Sunburst, and we already start on the negative. I'll show you that shortly. So we need to prepare for that, and also we have to take care of Elijah's great search. So let's go through what I've done to prepare for this playthrough and the steps I suggest that you follow as well. Starting off, Elijah suffers from -10 stability and loss of 0.05 daily intellectual support, which, as you know, does lower your stability. We do start with Bunker Blues, which is fantastic. Extra special forces. It's just great. Elijah's determination is also very good. Extra 10% reconnaissance, more division defense, faster research speed, and we can make power armor and infantry equipment that much cheaper. Then here we have the preparation for Operation Sunburst. As you can see now, we can't accept volunteers. Organization's bad. Recovery rate's bad. Division attack and defense is terrible. And we have a negative to both the reinforce rate and maximum planning. We can change this via the focus tree, and I will, and we can see that preparation here. Then the next important thing is our search for Elijah, which we first have to do by surveying the REPCONN headquarters in Vault 3. Now, initially, when this whole focus tree came out, Vault 3 was a nation on its own. But when they introduced the map change, Vault 3 got included into the Mojave Territories. So it is very important to get the whole inserting of your operative and the operation done before Operation Sunburst kicks off. So that means right from the start, even though we've got very little factories, we need to create the intelligence agency. So Circle of Steel started. Then one of the big awesome starting points for the Mojave chapter is the amount of research slots. We start with 5 and we can get a 6th one later on. I'm focused on getting healing powder first so I can get an upgrade for my intelligence agency to make sure my operative doesn't get captured early, and then I want to start researching automatic weapons and dynamite, and then we're going to start on some construction basics just to build a bit faster, and of course Ohm's law for the research speed. Construction wise, what I'm going for is a full defensive net, so 2 bunkers either side as well as a full set of outposts. There never used to be an opening here at Black Mountain. This was also added during the map change, and it does make it possible to attack either one of these directions or both. I advise still sticking with, as I'm going to do, advancing out of Helos 1. When Operation Sunburst kicks off, I'll explain why. Then normal construction of arms factories because they are the cheapest, then civilian factories, and then some infrastructure. Just a tip, because this is so close, it can be difficult to actually place these constructions. What I advise you do is you select what you want to do, then zoom out as far as you can, and then click to start the construction so that you don't pick up one of your units. But if you are doing bunkers or that, just zoom in and make sure that you are actually on the correct tile, otherwise you're wasting your time. Now production, I haven't changed anything yet because I want to show you this. Both the templates that are currently fielded here require anti-tank rifles, and we're not making any. So I'm going to take that very quickly. Okay, well, we can turn that off. Anti-tank rifles, and I'm going to take one off of the production of energy weapons. I'm going to leave that as is. Starting templates are as follows. We have normal militia, that's great. we have a 10 width power armor template. We then have, now there's 2 night patrols. There used to only be 1, now there's 2. They are both exactly the same. 6 combat width with anti-tank. That is something I need to fix very quickly, so I have at least something decent to work with. And then we have a 10 with special ops. So you are going to go away, and so are you. We'll sort that out and change it as we go. I do recommend making your reinforcements a priority. As you can see, we need some equipment in the field, as well as supply trucks and garrisons. I am going to be trying out a new army build based on some of the fantastic videos I've been seeing from Sodaz's video clips he's making about Operation Sunburst. I'm going to be basing a bit on that, so this will be a bit different from the many previous playthroughs I've done. And then I think it's time, last but not least, we have start the focus tree, the serpent that would swallow the sea. I have better things to do than explain myself to an imbecile like you. Alright, the Wasteland's last great mind. A scribe of the Brotherhood of Steel, Elijah defied convention and rose to the rank of elder. An honor usually reserved exclusively for paladins. An exemption was granted for him on the grounds of him being a genius, able to figure out the workings of a device just by looking at it. His scientific acumen was matched only by his drive to recover and develop technology. His approach towards technology, irritating and improving rather than simply preserving it, was considered unorthodox by his peers. Elijah often dispatched scribes on tech retrieval missions, chasing all the leads he found. His drive to develop new technologies put him at odds with the more conservative members of the Brotherhood, particularly the elders. So we can choose some good ones here. Presper is nothing in comparison to me. War support plus 8%. Only I can save the Wasteland. 8% stability boost, and then the Brotherhood is doomed without me. You get a boost of a 5% for stability and war support. This one is pretty good, but what I seriously advise is getting the 8% boost to stability to get you up to 40%. War support is already pretty damn high, so I'm going to go with that one, and I suggest you do as well. Then we have Journey to the Mojave. I'd long become troublesome for Lost Hills. Figure get sent here was an effort to get rid of me. Still, my exile served only to enable my pursuits. Now, something you will see here, now that my army has moved up, I have my 3 infantry units here at Black Mountain serving as a defensive line, and then my 4 power armor set up here under Mr. Hagen. Is it Hardin? Sorry, I can't believe I got that wrong. And he is pushing north, not towards the capital here at Mojave Outpost. This is because if you had to go and have a look, Hoover Dam, Boulder City, and Camp McCarran have a very high victory point cost. So, believe it or not, normally you would have to go for the capital first to get them very close to a country capitulating, not the Mojave Territories. If I can take these 3 here quite quickly, you'll see it when it happens, but I won't have to go near the Mojave outpost. Mojave Territories will capitulate. Let's find out about their journey to the Mojave. As a pathological control freak, he would often view the people under him as mere equipment, expecting them to carry out his orders and requests unquestionably, while dissent or unpredictability on their part would not just annoy, but even outright infuriate him. By far the only person with whom he had any kind of working relationship was scribe Veronica Santiago, whatever, his pupil. The conflicts Elijah had with the other members of the Brotherhood only worsened as Elijah pushed for developing new technologies and new ethical questionable weapons. The elders, rather than deal with him, decided to send him and a small accompanying Brotherhood force away out east to investigate the Hoover Dam and possibly bring it and the possibility of bringing it back to functionality. So we can choose ultimately I care for Veronica, or Veronica listens to me, that's why I respect her. First one gives +1 attack skill. Second one gives +1 to defensive skill. Now, Veronica has 2 attack and 1 defense. I have set her up as my defensive leader right now. So I'm going to go for setting up with the defensive skill. And then, next focus, like children playing with bombs. At first, I thought Helios 1 to be ripe for the taking, a veritable treasure trove of technology from before the war, a little slice of the old world all my own. Yet tiresome children could not still their roaming eyes. So what are these children playing with bombs? When Elijah and his newly found Mojave chapter arrived, they were too late. Just 1 year prior, the new California Republic, a republic of whom the Brotherhood had been fighting for over 100 years, had laid claimed it for themselves. Elijah was furious, likening it to children playing with a bomb. While with the dam under occupation, Elijah could do little else besides set up operation at his secondary objective, a power station known as Helios 1. There he would plan for the fall of Oliver and reclamation of the dam. So we can either go with I don't let anyone take what is owed to me, we get 1 extra civilian factory, or the Brotherhood will not be slighted. I'm going to go and we get 1 arms factory. This is what I want. I want the arms factory because if you look at your logistics, the infantry equipment and the power armor that we are short will all be covered in about 220 to 240 days. However, the anti-tank rifles we need is 572, and I don't want to take any factories off here to make this slow. So, extra factory there, and I'm going to be getting quite a lot of civilian factories in a relatively short time coming up now, because now we come to one of the greatest questions. Which one of these trees to follow? First of all, power armor blueprints and simulation training do not do. They are 60 days. They add nothing to the preparation of Operation Sunburst. Leave them alone. Then that leaves us with basically 2 choices. Which ones of the long routes do you take, and which of the short routes do you take? I advise you do not take any of the short routes. Take both long routes. Why? You will get a total of 10 preparation for Operation Sunburst, where the short ones give you nothing. And even though I'm going to be taking Veronica's path over here, which is one I advise, we'll be able to do everything except complete this last one over here, Paladins of the Mojave. So I strongly suggest you do the 2 long paths and start off with the civilian ones so we can get the construction of what we are building, defenses and all that, as fast as possible. So first of all, optimizing Helios 1. NCR took the dam first, leaving us at a disadvantage in energy production. No matter, a little more time fiddling with Helios and I ought to be able to awaken it just a little more. I'm going to get extra 3 power, which is good because we need energy cells for our army because everything's laser weaponry. And we're going to start off with 1 civilian factory. That's going to take 30 days. So I finished optimizing Helios 1. Now it's time to move on to the next one of realigning the solar panels. Old world stupidity got the engineers at Poseidon, just like all the others. Forgot to account for the slight alterations in Earth's orbit after a nuclear exchange. Idiots left me picking up the pieces. So now Helios 1, I'm now going to get 6 extra power and 2 civilian factories. Also going to take 30 days. Also have 40 command power. So I'm going to promote McNamara here to my commanding officer. Now I choose this order purely on role playing. Yes, McNamara has the better attack skill at 3, but for role playing purposes, I never take him out in the chains that bind in Fallout New Vegas. I always keep him as my leader of the Mojave Chapter, so he's going to lead the army. Now, I know some people may be saying to me, Smokey, you are not going to win by doing the 2 long paths that I've set out to do. Let me tell you, there's only one time where this plan that I'm explaining to you will not work, and that is if by now or after the next focus, this has jumped up to 20. because that means the Mojave Territories is rushing to launch Operation Sunburst 30 days sooner than the countdown timer that we have here. So that is the only time the plan I'm laying out for you does not work. So if by now or after the next focus this is 20, then the plan, I'm sorry, then you're going to have to do a restart. The plan I'm showing to you is going to work. All other occasions, what I'm showing to you here will work. Alright, quick pause here because it is time to see what operatives I'm going to get with my Circle of Steel Intelligence Agency, and I want you to be with me holding thumbs that we get a good one. So, terrifying presence. I didn't get what I was hoping for. Now, which one would be the best? You know what? I'm not worried about cutting to it. I'm going to get this over here, Ras Brossa. This is why I am researching the heating powder so that I can unlock, I can actually show it to you now, the suicide pills, because this will lower my chance of detection, which is very important. So I'm going to send him off into Vault 3. Make sure that you click on Vault 3 here, nowhere else, so he can start getting up his intelligence network up to 40%, so we can raise this operation, so we can start off Elijah's search. It does come with some very good items, so I strongly suggest you do it. So construction basics is done. Now, as you can see, I am low on resources, so I need to do whatever I can to try to get them up. One of the quickest ways is to go here to resource production, so I can get an extra 5%. So start researching that. The solar panels have been realigned. Let's move on to the next one of resolving frustrations. They forgot a bracket. Very frustrating. Another 6 power, another 2 civilian factories, 30 days. Let's go. Ohm's law is done. I'm going to carry on with what I always do and snake my way through the engineering tree and go for combat language next. I've just realized I haven't shown you the tech levels that Mojave chapters get. We get sophisticated in infantry, support, and power armor, and everything else is intermediate. So pretty good, lots to research. And I have 18 command power now, so I'm going to give McNamara here the Savage Leader trait. This will give me extra 10% breakthrough. You can get this because he's got Pain Train. If you haven't watched my traits guide, I suggest you do. Kind of grouped all these traits here into how they should be used, and I hope it's hopeful to everybody. So there you go, Savage Leader for him. So another quick pause because it is time to choose my first advisor. Now, I normally on my playthroughs always advise going for the Golden Gecko or its appropriate one depending on the nation you're playing, because of the extra stability and political power gain of 5% each. Now, stability still is nice and high, at 40%. We'll get more, don't worry. But what I suggest getting instead is Paladin Todd here, because you can get 10% extra political power, which means everything else gets done 10% faster, and also we are going to get a nice discount on buying certain things like conscription laws, economy laws. That'll all become slightly cheaper. So this is for Mojave chapter. This is the one I advise getting first. So Elijah has replaced the bracket. Now it's time to go for Raw Poseidon Energy. Helios 1 will be the beating heart of it all, the sun bleeding through its substations to give life to the Mojave. So 8 power now, 2 civilian workshops again, but now McNamara is getting a logistics school of +1. This is very good as commanding officer because it boosts my entire army group, and I get my first boost to my preparation by 5. This will take 30 days. Resource production is finished researching. That hasn't removed my insufficient resources, so let's move on to another one, and I'm going to get woodworking to boost my construction speed, and this will open up work camps, which will give me 12% more resources. So there we are. So raw Poseidon energy is done. Now unfortunately the stats haven't updated, but it will probably in the next hour to 24 hours of the game time. Now it is time for me to move on to the next long tree, and I'm going to refurbish derelict stockpile. Only 1 in 10 suits of power armor have working pilot lights. Only 1 in every 20 of our microfusion cells are fully charged. Only 1 in 50 of our suits of power armor have fully functional servo. Inexcusable. How could this have happened? So I'm going to get 100 units of infantry equipment and our arms workshop in 30 days. Combat language is done, so now I'm going to get secret language. This will increase my encryption by 0.5. Some people wonder if getting this is actually useful. I believe it is, because intel plays a lot in your actual fighting, the battles that goes on. So by being able to encrypt your intel so they don't know what's going on, but be able to decrypt theirs so you know what's going on, everything gives that little extra boost to winning your battles in Hearts of Iron 4 and especially Old World Blues. So yes, I believe getting these encryption and decryption researches are very useful and important. Alright, as you can see here on the right side of the screen, dynamite, the automatic weapons, and the healing powder have all been completed at the same time. So let's set up some new research. First of all, we are done here. So let's get back to what is more traditional and get warrior training for the 5% decrease in division training time. Remember, the Mojave Chapter does start off with the first level of refined warfare, and the minimum training level is plus 15%. So it takes 15% longer to train them. This will take it down to 10%. Then for the next ones, we are going to change this up again, move away from support equipment, and the first one I'm going to go for is scrap bots. Yes, I am going to be using robots, but right now what I'm looking for is getting automation for the boost to my production efficiency cap. So let's get that. And then, because air power and CAS is always king, let's start off with my air research tech. Nothing new I want to produce here right now, but something you need to do right away once getting the heating power is to start unlocking suicide pools. So far, my operative has not been discovered. This, I'm hoping, will give him that extra edge so that he can go all the way and get up to 40% so I can launch the operation. So, we have refurbished the stockpile. Now let's move on to the microfusion cell refurbishing. These are microfusion cells, just energy cells painted to look the part. Is this a joke? Was Lost Hills trying to get us killed? Another 200 units of infantry equipment and 2 arms workshops, again 30 days. Now that arms workshops that's coming my way, I'm going to put onto power armor because it is the most expensive to produce. As you can see, I only need 8 anti-tank rifles, so that arms factory is doing well worth it. And finally, this has actually changed for the worst, but I know now that they are not rushing Operation Sunburst. That's Mojave Territories. They're not rushing it. So this plan is going to work. Secret language done. Now let's move on and get the reference manual so my decryption is a little bit better. And then it's time to spend some more political power. And this time I am going to get my military theorist because I want this army experience gain. I need 20 army XP to do what I need to do to my infantry unit. That is to add 2 units on to make it 10 with and remove the anti-tank because I don't need it right now and I need to produce these guys faster. And their suicide pools is done. So now my operative a little bit harder to detect. Now I'm going to continue with my standard ones here and then later on move over to my cryptology. I'm going to start first with anti-partisan. The Brotherhood of Steel nations do come up with a boost against counterintelligence, so anti-partisan is more important for me to keep resistance down. Well, this is very nice. Lost Hills has sent us a message. Lost Hills, the formal head of the Brotherhood of Steel, has just sent us a preliminary communique. They seem intent on wishing to restart efforts to re-establish communications with us. That's very nice, and I get 75 extra political power, plus ones to my stability, and we like each other a little bit more. This is the first step to actually getting some free power armor and stuff from them once I finish Operation Sunburst. Political power spending time once again. Now, you could go for whatever choices you want to, but because I am constructing a bunch of stuff and I have a lot of resources, what I strongly suggest you go for is the survey here, Paladin Matiz, because extra 5% to resource gain efficiency. That means along with the research, I'm going to be up at 8%, and my construction speed is going to be 8% faster as well. Okay, quite a few things happened between the two focuses. Mojave's got an extra 5 points on their preparation for Operation Sunburst. I'm not worried. I will be able to bring it back. Next, I'm going to do heavy-duty ballistic barrels. One of my paladins came to me, told me the barrel of their minigun melted off after half a minute of sustained fire. Unbelievable. No time to get replacements. Need to rectify this myself. Need as much firepower as I can get. Another 200 units of infantry equipment and another 2 arms workshops at Helos 1. Now those extra 2 arms workshops I've got have put me even more in the red with water. So what I'm actually going to do is move power armor to be at top. So now they are fully supplied with resources. As you can see, only my power armor needs for reinforcement. I'm in the green with everything else. So that will help that out a little bit until I can get the water after I take out Mojave Territories. And reference manual is done. So now I'm going to move on to smoke signals. And my gliders are finished researching. I'm not going to build them because I don't feel like wasting my manpower on single-use items. Instead, I'm going to go for motorized flight so I can jump ahead and get the triplane attacker as fast as I can. And here are my scrap bots, just like the gliders. I'm not going to research them. I'm going to go on to automation now to get the boost for my efficiency cap. And when I do use robots, I'll be extra bit reliable. Word of warning, once again, I've said this many times, do not do these 3 technologies if you are playing any army that is majority soldier based, as in normal infantry, because each one of these takes down your recruitable population down by 15%. If you're playing a robot army, Warden, New Vegas, something like that, different story, because they give nice boosts to your robots. But for me, because they are a secondary unit I'm going to be using, don't take these. But automation is nicer and safe. Also have my first unit of infantry, so I'm going to add them here to Helos Squadron, but I'm not going to put them on the Black Hills border over here. I'm going to add them, there we go, onto this side here. Here's my reason, and I'll show this in full once Operation Sunburst kicks off. When I advance, I'm going to be sending my paladins north, so I need units to watch my back over here. So that's what these infantry units here, they're going to be defensive on these 2 tiles here. You can advance if you want to from Black Mountain instead of from Helos 1, but it's easier to break out here but harder to advance, whereas on Helos 1 it's easier to break, so it's harder to break out but easier to advance afterwards, and it's a quicker route to the very important victory points that I'm going for. So that's the setup. Let's set them to train until they are level 3. Warrior training is finished, so I'm going to move on to getting the militia training because I want some extra defense on my frontline platoons, because we are going to be very thinly stretched in the beginning. Now, you may have noticed here for the eagle-eyed viewers is that I have 7 army experience, which means I could actually start modifying my infantry template the way I want to. I would advise you watching to do that as you get the XP adjusted little by little. But because this is a tutorial, I'm going to wait until I get to the 20 Armorix experience I need so I can show you the whole, or the basic template that you need for Operation Sunburst in one go. Alright, heavy duty barrels for the miniguns sorted out. Now, walking artillery time. Day in and day out, I'm hounded by naysayers and defeatists going on about perceived tactical disadvantages. Irrelevant. Our paladins are equipped precisely to secure a precious holdout without room to regroup. NCR's logistical advantage won't buy them any resources against an immovable foe with superior ordnance. 400 units of infantry equipment, another 2 arms workshops. The McNamara gets another logistics skill point, and we finally get +5 to preparation for Operation Sunburst, that is. And before I carry on, something I want to mention, what to do with these arms factories that we just picked up now. You could go for boosting of your production. I am going to use the combined arms platoons in my infantry template, my final one with the 20th. So I want to start some early production of that equipment. So just to get the numbers up, so when I get that template and I change everything around, I don't have a massive shortage of equipment, is I want to start producing some machine guns and dynamite now. That symbol is just going to stay here. We're going to leave it. As you can see, we are low on resources, but at least I am making something so that when the time comes to change the template, there's really something in the bank. Alright, the followers of the apocalypse have pitched up in Mojave, and this is important. I'm not going to read through all this nonsense ever again. As you will probably know, if you watched my videos before, I'm not a massive fan of the followers. Don't really like them much in Old World Blues. But let me run this over quickly. If you let them in, your stability will go up by 5%, your war support and your mobilization speed will go down. War support is 5%. I can't remember off the top of my head what the mobilization speed is. It's basically the exact opposite for your, if you tell them to get lost. Stability will go down, war support will go up, mobilization speed will go up. Oh, this also gives you a little bit extra manpower. I am still going to reject them, both role-playing purposes and because I need something very important from them, and that is some support equipment. So I'm going to go into my decision tab here, turn off, and you can see here, raid follow supplies. I'm going to get 70 units of support equipment in 15 days. Why is this important? We need 10 units of support equipment to carry out the operation in Vault 3, and I am not currently producing any support equipment. I don't want to waste a single day on anything that is not revolving around getting equipment out to my troops to fight Operation Sunburst. So I'm going to kick this off. I will also get, it says you'll get another outpost in Black Mountain and a civilian workshop. It doesn't always actually happen, but we'll do it anyways. There we go, walking artillery is done, and we are starting to bring back this preparation score to my favor. Now it is time to test the bear. The NCR swarms like ants over old world relics. Started with the dam, only a matter of time before the eyes wandered to heal us. We can't let them have this. Need to work a little harder, scrape for an advantage, and we get an event trials, tribulations, and local supplies is going to get 33% at Helos 1. Okay, the time is now. I have my operation ready for REPCONN headquarters, so I'm going to prepare it. I'm going to select my operative. I now do have 70 units of support equipment available, 20 units of infantry equipment available as well. I'm going to click commence when ready and prepare. This is going to take 65 days. We have 197, so everything should go to plan very, very nicely. There we are, woodworking's finished, so my construction speed's gone up. Now, work camps, I want this extra 12% extra research gain efficiency. Once again, time to spend some political power now. I was initially going to get the, what's it called now? The one for CAS, the aircraft company for CAS. But because I was smart enough to take Paladin Todd in the beginning, it takes me 80 days to make 100 political power. And I have 97 days until this is finished researching. So I'm going to take advantage of that and instead get Taggart over here. No, not Taggart, Finley over here. I want 10% extra stability because I'm about to lose 5% because I'm kicking the followers out of the Mojave, and the extra war support as well. So that's where that political power is going. Okay, trials and tribulations. Our conflict with Mojave Territories is inevitable. Soon enough, political pressure from the NCR Congress will place overwhelming force on General Oliver to launch his assault on Helios 1. The only way we can ever hope to fend off their onslaught is through preparation, a unique dynamic modifier representing the struggle for initiative between the Brotherhood and the NCR. When Operation Sunburst occurs, the current balance of preparation will be set in stone, so we must make sure to be well prepared before the war ever comes. This is the first time that the actual preparation mechanic is actually explained in writing, if you want to call it that. We have three options to choose from, but in my opinion there is actually only one. We must be nothing if not prepared. Lose 10% stability to gain 10 preparation against Mojave Chapter. Sounds very enticing, but you can't get the stability back, and I would not recommend giving up any form of stability unless you are like actually like 100 plus. Other option is for some research bonuses for power armor, infantry, and 2 for infantry tech. This is not needed. We have 5 research slots. We're going to get a second, and this is 2 we can get other ways of doing this. This is the one that you need to go for. We need more men to counter the NCR numbers. 800 more manpower. So I haven't hit 800 manpower this entire playthrough so far. I am actually only increasing my manpower by recruitable 0 every month. I'm getting 0 manpower every month. So this is the answer. Besides, I'm less than 3 army experience points away from changing my infantry template. I'm going to need those numbers, and this is the only one I recommend getting. Next, testing the bears done. Now, another big question. Which one of these trees to follow? Again, my opinion, there is only one tree, but let me go through them with you. If you go with the one on the left here to support Hardin, what you are doing is some guerrilla warfare against Mojave Territories to make them weaker, but doesn't actually necessarily make you stronger. Don't like it. That lucky old sun has some small boosts for Elijah, ending up with a very nice one at the end. And I believe I tried this the first time because I was very attracted by this 25 preparation. But if you've gone this route like I have, you won't actually get this. This is the tree or the branch I suggest everybody takes Veronica's. Here is the main reason why. For every single one of these, doesn't matter what branch you're getting, these 3, you get 5 preparation only. Whereas here, you get 10, and you get a bonus to manpower and stability, and Veronica gets extra skills. So this is the best. Yes, later on, we're going to have some issues with some research and all that kind of stuff, but we can deal with that. The main problem now is winning Operation Sunburst. So this is the option. I could make you care. Veronica has suggested that I don't bother trying to crack Helios 1 for the time being. Her proposal: choke the life out of NCR with other hands. Resourceful. I ought to thought of it. So she's going to become charismatic as well. Division recovery rate is going up by 5%, and that affects only her troops, but it's a good start. They've increased again to 20. Don't worry, it's going to be coming back, and my operation is well underway and will be finished in just over a month. Alright, I've decided I want to show you getting my second operative, and this is what I wanted. Smooth talker. Infiltration risk minus 25%, effectiveness plus 25%. Oh, what's we got here? No, but he's got the same template as that. That's going to confuse me. So you don't look like a Frank, but okay, Frank Conrad, you will be operative number 2. Here we go. Automation's done. So there's my efficiency cap up by 30%. Now I'm going to jump over to vehicles. I'm going to get bicycles. I have my basic caravan equipment, but I'm going to need vehicles later on for my supply. So I'm going to get that for now. Scrap bicycles. And here we are finally. I am at 20 army experience. It is time to change up this template. So here's the night patrol. This is what I advise. Add on 2 infantry. Let me just put them over there, so it's a nice level line. So now we are 10 width. Stats have been boosted nicely. And take off anti-tank. Don't need it now, and in the future I'm going to be replacing it with the combined arms platoon anyway, which adds in less but still adds in some anti-tank weaponry. So that is what I'm going to go for. This is the template, and I just realized now I didn't duplicate it, but you know what? Screw it, we're going to do this. Instantly, I'm going to do it. This 10 width is what you will need to have. This will carry you all the way up to declaring the white peace against Kaiser. This will 2 10 width divisions is all you need for now to be on the defensive against the Legion. So this template will last. And here we are, the followers have been rejected, and yes, we did do well. So as I said, mobilization speed goes up by 15%, stability goes down by 5%, war support actually goes up by 10%, that's more than I thought, but my research speed is also going down by 5%. Not a problem, there's advisors I can buy, I can research faster, research speed, and like I said, very soon we're going to have 6 research slots. That is not going to be a problem. So the Brotherhood of Steel in their fancy power armor has only just discovered smoke signals. Wonderful for them. I'm going to do encoded signals as well. Here we are. My operative is back with data from REPCONN. As our operatives explored REPCONN headquarters, they were careful to extract any information they could from the building's terminals. Most of it was junk, but not all. Some of the company's records revealed a decrypted vertebrate testing ground far to the north in Ambrosia Valley. This expedition would require serious time and resources, but think of the potential, and the potential is vertebrates, so we're definitely going to do this. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to first of all complete this, close it off. Then I'm going to use Sparrow over here because they have the smooth talker, and they're going to start setting up. Ambrosia Valley is over here, but this is the only place we can actually put the operatives, so hopeful it is. Do be aware, if the NCR does take out the divide before they've gotten to the, what is it now, 40% to actually launch the mission, you will have to reinsert the operatives, so just keep an eye out on that, just as I'm going to. This is a bit concerning. They're at full maximum 25, full preparation against me, but I still have 131 days to bring it back, and I'm sure I will. And it's time to do just that. So I can make you care is done now. Let's go. It does not matter which order you do these, they'll all give you the same stuff basically. So I'm just going from left to right. Using the super mutants, Veronica told me about a tribe of mutants infesting Black Mountain. Their despot Tabitha uses radio transmissions to lure mutants to her upstart nation. Veronica suggests we jam their transmissions, lay the blame on the NCR. Devious, I taught her well. So Veronica makes promises to Tabitha in a state of utopia. I think I'm never been able to pronounce it correctly, that we will help them repair the radio transmission equipment if they help us in our battle against the Mojave Territories. And that's where we are going to get the 250 manpower from, and I'm going to get more stability. She's going to get +1 planning skill, and here's the big number, everyone, 10 preparation against the Mojave Territories. There we are, encoded signals done. Now to get some decode signals, so my decryption goes a little bit faster. And here we are, just as I calculated I would get 100 political power before my research of motorized flight was finished. So now, aircraft company, and I'm going to get the Victoria Flyers because Cass is king. There we are. Using the super mutants is done. This has really jumped down 10 points, just the way I like it. First of all, decode signals is done. Let's get some resistors to increase my research speed. And then next to go for, I'm going to go with work with the Bright. The Brotherhood of Bright, a lunatic cult of ghouls, has taken residence at REPCONN. Conveniently, they are also a self-resolving problem. Want to leave this Earth set off on their rockets there. Veronica suggests that we promise the ghouls our assistance in repairing the rockets if they sabotage the NCR. A waste of time, but could regen when they outlive their usefulness. So, Veronica contacts Jason Bright, the leader of the cult living near the REPCONN test site. She promises that we will help arm their rockets so they can reach the great beyond in exchange for helping us against the NCR first. Again, 250 manpower, extra 5% stability, extra planning skill point, and another 10 points in my preparation against the Mojave Territories. And I have some scrap bicycles to supply my troops with later. I'm going to jump back to robotics and do fusion batteries because I am going to be going for the protectrons as well as the sentry bots, just like in the Sodays videos. Oh, wrong button. There we go. And motorized flight's done as well. Let's move on to triplane attacker, and I will have the Victoria Flyers added to it so the agility and ground attack goes up by 10%. And militia training is finished. Now I was thinking about adding some enforcers into my infantry template, but as you can see I've already researched quite a bit, and this is what I normally do, but because I want to use robots this time as my backup, I'm going to leave this alone at least for now, and I'm going to go with guerrilla tactics. Yes, this takes almost a year to research, but it will be useful later on. And working with the Bright is definitely working. I'm now only 5 points behind in preparation. This is the closest to 0 I've been, and this means that my plan is working. Time to get the last one to help me out. Sway the Star Chasers. Before the bombs, the Sunset Sarsaparilla Corporation promised an unspecified treasure to any moron that could guzzle enough of their product to luck out on getting rare special bottle caps. Some still seek the treasure some still seek the treasure. If we could tell them NCRs after the same, the seekers could be made useful. Veronica gets the attention of those seeking Sunset Sarsaparilla Star bottle caps, telling them that the reason the NCR has arrived in the region is to find the fabled treasure Fetus has promised to those who gather the caps. And 250 manpower, 5% extra stability, another point to planning skill, and another very precious 10 points to preparation against for Operation Sunburst. Work camps is finished, and I'm going to be moving back to something a bit more traditional. I am going to first get tool procurement. I want to increase my efficiency cap by 5% and the growth by 2%. Dockyard output doesn't matter to me. Reason being, both my energy weapons is at max, and both my power armor and anti-tank rifles are very close to being max efficiency as well. So increase that by 5% means more equipment. Okay, this is my last chance to spend some political power, I think, before Operation Sunburst kicks off, and I want to get Edgar Hardin over here because he's going to give me, or all my divisions, plus 8% attack and plus 8% planning speed. If you are a bit want to be a bit more defensive, Ramos is fine, but I'm very confident, so there we go. Hardin it is. Fusion batteries, check. Now, protectrons, next. Also, I have 20 army experience, and I'm going to spend that on getting an army spirit. Now, I am going to go for bold attack because My guys are a bit low on their attack skill, and we haven't started fighting yet, so this is a perfect chance to boost them up, and any that follow. I haven't really seen any other ones here, and frankly, these other ones don't really interest me that much. Bold attack is one I'm going to go for. And Sway the Star Chasers has put me ahead at long last. I now have 5 extra points, so now we are in the green. So now I have extra organization and recovery rate and attack and defense and I have a boost. It's a small boost, but it is enough. So last one to do is Paladins of the Mojave. Veronica exceeded my expectations as usual, resourceful as ever, pulling hands from the wasteland like that. Misguided in trying to follow through, yes, but she grasps this much. Get patsies to do your dirty work, and things are bound to work better. So now I'm going to get 750 manpower, 15 extra stability. So just this 4 here alone has given me an extra, what, 30% stability and 1,750 manpower. And this I'm not going to get, is the extra plus 10 preparation, because here's the warning: for 10 days until Operation Sunburst kicks off. So next time you'll see me is probably when this all goes down. I'm going to stop training all my units. Also, I don't like doing this, but I need to deploy this night platoon over here. Add them on to Veronica and put them there. So I have 3 on each side for defense. If I need to, when I get to this area, I will suck 1 across because they have some defenses nicely set up. They're just 1 outpost short. Oh, actually, if you remember that outpost I was supposed to get in Black Mountain, it actually ended up going to Healers 1. I forgot to actually mention that. So 10 days. Let's get this started. All right, it is 1 o'clock in the morning, April 7th, 2276, and even though the sun has not come up yet over the Mojave, Operation Sunburst has been launched by the Mojave Territories. So, remember, rundown of the plan. 3 10-width infantry units with bunkers and outposts are going to support here. They're going to be on the defensive, they won't be moving. 6 paladins are going to be pushing north here towards Hoover Dam, Boulder City, and Camp McCarran. This is going to work. And then I've got another 3 infantry who will cover these tiles here. If necessary, I can pull them back. I do have some defenses, but I really hope that does not happen. So let's only put Hardin onto the attack. Call my troops up. Apart from getting the extra breakthrough trait for Hardin, I have not added any other traits to my unit leaders. They have what they started off with. Let's kick off Operation Sunburst now. Okay, no one is attacking yet. Why? I don't know. Mojave Territories is helping down at the NCR with the rapids. Maybe I need to manual these guys in. Okay. You know what? No. Wrong button. Stop. I hope they have not set offensive. It's the entrenchment boost. They'll be bloody terrible. Okay. Let's see if they can push them out here. Okay, this is good. This is good. Okay. Half of them. Let's push you straight into Hoover Dam. Let's create a bit of an, well, not really an encirclement, because they can get supply from the other route. But now I can do this. Well, I need to do this. Okay, so line is split this way. So Hardin, we're going to have to delete everything he's got here and pop him there with an offensive order there. Why is only 3? Let's delete that and try again. Okay. Let's just tell him to go there. I'll have to manual. Why is there... I swear I saw a red line here for Hilo Squadron under Veronica. Okay. So these guys are going to have to hold here. Hopefully they can. Let's carry on. This is a new symbol I don't recognize. This pentagon shaped one, but it is there. Okay, so I have Hoover Dam and I have Boulder City. Okay, you're moving, you're attacking, that's nice. Drive me up there. Let's see if we can get this even with one. Okay, oh, this is only firing now. Okay, let's cancel you, cancel you. Okay, I think I'm going to have to put some power armor on this line, even though I don't really want to. Okay, they are supporting the attack there, that's fine. That's okay by me. We can get into Camp McCarran. They're standing still. The organization. That suits me fine. Haven't even finished that one question. There we go. Okay, one more for Camp McCarran. One more for Camp McCarran. And now I'm hoping I don't get flanked here. Attack's not going well. Okay. I want to take Helos 1 Knights. Add them there. Hopefully they can get what they need. Okay, what are you? There. Resistors done. Alright. As well as tool procurement. Okay, let's do this properly. Okay, tool procurement's done. You get some industry planning. And vacuum tubes. Okay. Come on guys, you can do this, you can do this. Big pause, 1st of May. Hold that line guys, hold that line. 95, 97. Okay, I've got Camp McCarran. Okay. Let's send you. Into Bitter Springs. Paladins of the Mojave is finished. I am not going to take another focus because there are 60-day focuses and this will be over before then. Okay, now in a matter of days I should get... Okay, let me just push these guys a little bit more. Okay. A little bit longer. I have enough victory points to win this. I'm just going to carry on pushing these guys. Whoa. Spend political power now. Yeah, let's get some boost to my Sato. Get my boost to my infantry equipment. That'll work. Okay. There we go. Oh, I was getting worried there. But as proven, you do not need to take out the headquarters. Holding the Boulder City, Hoover Dam, and Camp McCarran is enough to win this war. So, select all, submit demands, and Operation Sunburst is over. Now, before I end this episode off, something I want to mention that is very important. Victory in Operation Sunburst. Today is a glorious day for the Brotherhood of Steel. Father Elijah revealing his tactical prowess in stunning defense of the Mojave Chapter against the tyrannical New California Republic. We have managed to push the Republic soldiers to the Mojave outpost, though the question remains on whether we should continue the advance down the Longwood 15 into California. If we were to try to assert dominance over this land, it's likely that we would have to face a more coordinated response in return. Now, this is from back in the days where Copperhead, Baker, and all this used to be Mojave Territories land, and you would then have to fight all the way down to Baker, and this is a choice of keeping it or giving it back to the NCR. But one thing that still holds true, even though the map has changed, is this. This is our land. Annex war goal against the Mojave Chapter. That means at any point, NCR can declare war on you, and we are not ready to take on the NCR proper. This is what to go for. Let's not push this too far. Enter truce with the Mojave Brotherhood and the NCR. So up until 19th of May 2278. And I'm going to do it, and I advise you to do it as well. Whatever your date is here, write that down, because that will give you an indication as to when the NCR will go to war with you. So currently I have 2 years. 2 years before the NCR will go to war with me. So that's how much time I have to prepare to take on the NCR. And before that, we still have to take on the Legion as well. But okay, that is enough for this episode. Operation Sunburst is completed. The Mojave chapter now owns all of the Mojave Territories land over here. So, a job well done. Next episode, I will be preparing to face the Legion, coring this very troubled land, and also preparing for the inevitable war with the NCR. Still a lot to do for this playthrough, but I'd like to thank you all very much for watching and joining me so far, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.